everyone! I hope you're enjoying the event. My name is Cash Monet, and I am here with the CEO of Sugarpill, Shrinkle!
Hi.
Oh my gosh! I just want to say, before we get started with the interview, that I am a huge fan. And
oh my gosh, thank you.
I've had, I think it was the Burning Hearts palette from I think it was from 2012 or something? 2012.
Yeah, that was one of the first products we ever launched.
Really?
Oh
my gosh.
Yeah. You're an OG.
I was around a lot of queer gay people, and when they used makeup, they were using that palette. And I was just like, wow, this is
cool.
Really good makeup.
Cool,
so
thank you.
It's kind of great that we have you because this is kind of like a drag event. Sugarpill has been in the eyes of drag performers for longer than I can remember. So how did you get started as an indie brand in makeup? What were the beginnings of Sugarpill?
Well, starting in the early 2000s, I was a clothing designer. I had my own DIY clothing line where I would make one-of-a-kind pieces. I would sell them online, and I would take pictures of myself wearing the clothes because I worked from home. I didn't have any models and I was on a budget. So I would just do my hair and makeup all crazy, and I was wearing a lot of theater brand makeup like Kryolan and Bed Nye. And I started getting a lot of comments, people were emailing me asking what kind of makeup I was wearing. I became a retailer for Kryolan, and I started selling Kryolan makeup with my clothes. After a while, I just ran out of stuff to sell, and I really wished that I could create more colors and have more control over the packaging and the branding and the color and formula. And there were a lot of things that I wanted to customize. And so I decided to start my own brand. I didn't really have a plan. I thought it would just be a fun little side hobby. So yeah, that's how Sugarpill started. It started out as a weekend hobby, but then when we launched, it was a lot bigger than I anticipated. And I just kind of followed that, and that's what I'm doing now.
One big fact I'd say about Sugarpill is that Taco, the almighty Taco, one of the best white eyeshadows out there, honestly, was named after your cat, right?
Yeah, I have a cat named Taco.
So what does the name Sugarpill come from?
Sugarpill means placebo, and I like the idea that makeup is kind of like a placebo that makes you feel like you can live whatever fantasy you want, and you're still the same person, but I don't know, you can just become whoever you want, even though you're still the same person inside, and that's what makeup does for you.
What were the biggest hurdles as far as being an indie brand?
Well, we launched in 2010, but it took me about 4 years to put it all together. So I started putting it together in 2006. And back then, this was before there were any indie brands at all. So there wasn't really anybody to ask for advice. And there wasn't anything that I could model myself after. I just kind of had to wing it and Google everything and just email labs and reach out to people and see if I basically had to figure out everything on my own. And it was all trial and error. I think back then too, a lot of the labs weren't used to working with smaller indie brands. So nobody really took me seriously. I would try to have meetings with people, and they just kind of saw me and thought what's this shit? Yeah, it's just, it's a lot easier for people now because there's so many indie brands out there. But back then it was a lot harder to be taken seriously and to just figure out what to do.
Yeah. I love that. I love that how it's just there's nothing like this out here. I'm gonna do it. I love that kind of drive that you have.
Everything I do, I just do what's fun and what feels right. And from the beginning of the company, we've always tried to show a diverse range of models, and we're all about representation. And I've always tried to hire Asian models, and we feature a lot of Asian artists on our Instagram.
Looking at your whole collection, it's very bright, colorful. There's pastels, and then you just launched your 10-year anniversary capsule collection.
Yeah.
See, I did my research.
Oh, cool.
So, what inspires you to do certain kind of color stories as far as putting palettes together?
I originally started the brand because I wanted, there were a lot of colors that I wished existed that didn't. This was way back in the day where the craziest makeup brands there were MAC, and but nobody was really making super crazy colors. And so I think I was just trying to fill the gaps in the industry where I felt like you were only able to find crazy colors if it was cheap Halloween makeup. And so I wanted to make really fun colors, but in like department store quality, like, you know, like fancy formulas. Yeah, I just try to make colors that I feel like stuff that's missing. Like if I like a color a lot, I'll be like, this is cool, but I wish it was metallic, or this would be so pretty if it had sparkles in it, or, you know. So I just try to make stuff that I want to wear.
Oh, totally. When I think of Sugarpill, I think of like pinks and orange and yellow. And you know how long it took me to find a good yellow eyeshadow? It's hard. So thank you so much for creating them, is what I'm gonna say.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
So you have your own makeup brand. You see a lot of makeup companies out there. Wait, I totally forgot my question.
No, it's okay. I always forget questions too.
How do you like living in LA? I don't know.
Well, I'm from the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay. Wait, did you know that I'm from up there too?
Oh, really?
Yeah, did Rock tell you? So,
oh my God.
I lived in the Bay Area my whole life, and I moved to LA in 2012. I was living in Oakland, and we moved down here because when I was starting the brand, all the labs and all the creative people that I wanted to work with were in LA. So I would drive down here once or twice a week from Oakland, and it's like like a 6 or 7 hour drive. And I would do that so like all the time. And so I finally decided to just move here in 2012 to grow the brand, and I love it so far. At first I was scared because I believed all the stereotypes people say about like, oh my God, everyone in LA is so shallow and awful and you're gonna hate it, and you know, but it's only like that if you hang out with those people. But
exactly.
It's like anywhere you go. You can hang out with people anywhere you go. There's a lot of people here who really inspire me. Like everyone's doing what they love. Everyone is creating their own dream life. And I just love being around it. Like I feel super inspired every day. So I'm very happy here.
That's good. That's good. Do you miss the Bay Area?
I miss the hiking and how green it is. Everything's like very dry down here. But
I know.
I'm super happy here though.